Now, astrologically, the Fool is represented by Uranus, which is an Aquarius card. So you could look at the Fool, right, and you can see how the Fool is garbed in garments that are eccentric looking. The Fool is very comfortable in what it has on. It might have not even took too much thought to put those clothes on. You know what I mean? So Uranus is a sign of rebellion, a sign of anarchy, a sign of destroying old structures and bringing in the new innovative ideas and the new regime. The inventors, the geniuses, the people who go against the grain, so to speak, is the Fools, is the Uranus, and also the esoteric occultist as well is represented by Uranus. The occultist that is able to clear psychic energy in order to clear the path for what is known, like no more things are clouded. It's clear with this higher mind thinking. I mean, so right off the rip, right, looking at the Fool card, I see someone who is knowing that they have a clean slate. Now, there's cycles in this world, so for someone who has already been through something in life, this would be the person that would forget everything that they already know and come to the conclusion that they know nothing. But for others who are, let's say, just really beginning the journey, or the Fool's journey of what it's called, right, or the hero's journey, however you may phrase it, this is the infancy of it. This is the beginning of it. So first I look at the zero. The zero just basically means exactly what it is. Zero, nothingness. And we come from nothingness, and this clean slate that I'm talking about is what this Fool represents. Like, there's a blank sheet of paper here that can be written upon. And the idea here is to, even if you know a few things, to pretend you know nothing, because that will take all of the delight, all of the fun, all of the adventure out of the journey, is to have this arrogance about yourself that you know everything, right? So that's why I would start there. We're looking at the zero, and although this is the zero card, right, this is the first card of the tarot, so it kind of also represents that this is the truth about existence. This is the beginning, that the creator has created something, and it's as delicate as this. So I'd look at the sun, and I'd look at how the sun is white. So, white is about pure intentions and things of that nature. So when you're utilizing the sun, like in astrology and stuff like that, you're being your most authentic self. So there's really no game face inside within your heart, where the heart chakra, where the sun represents, right? Although the Fool is known as a joker, as a gesture, and there's some biblical scriptures as well that states that don't ever call a man a fool. I think it's somewhere in Matthew or something like that, and because you can face some type of damnation or whatever the case may be, something like that. I'm butchering the phrase, but you get what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, although the Fool may be the gesture and may be the butt of people's jokes and stuff like that, these would be your comedians, these would be your people who don't take things very seriously. There is a lot to be learned from them. They can be very cunning, they can be very smart, and this is, on a spiritual level, probably the most innocent that you can be. And I also look at the white rose that also reflects the sun. It's like this person's intentions are pure, although they may not take things seriously and everything may be a joke. That's where the innocence lies, to where you don't know nothing. You're just learning as you go. This isn't a learning experience, and if not, then maybe life will conclude. Maybe life will just collapse on you, right? I also look at the feather inside of the crown. To me, that means to travel light. Light as a feather, right? You want to be light as a feather, which is also a reflection of the bag that is hanging on the stick there. I think they got a name for that too, but I don't know the name of it right now. But that bag also represents, and I know we're not there yet, but the Magician card is the next card. So that bag is like, take what you have, and this Fool probably didn't even take what they had. They probably took the bare minimum, the immediate essentials to go on this trip so they can be as light as can be. Because the next card, the Magician card, is going to be the individual that can reach inside of that bag and manifest everything that they need based upon what they have already. What I also will look at is the background is yellow, so we would assume that this is a reflection of the sun, right? The radiance of the sun, and the sun is also about being happy, being jovial, and the boots are yellow as well, so it's like happy feet. You know what I mean? That's what it represents to me. Happy feet. You see the yellow suns decorated inside of the shirt as well. So this fool gives the impression that they're going to have a ball while on this journey because they're going in with a clean slate of nothingness to begin all over again. I also noticed that there are wings on the shirt. I picked that up too. There are wings on this fool's sleeves, which to me would represent, being that they're at the cliff and they're about to jump off of this cliff, right? That they're going to fly anyway. They're already prepared to fly. This is this type of confidence that comes with not knowing the manifested world or the tangible world, the materialistic world, but knowing the spiritual world. To know that you're going to fly regardless because the Creator got you. The Creator is the sun, is the reflection of yellow. So the feet is like also the soul, right? The soles of your feet is also representative of the sun, which is the soul. So this fool is confident that should they fall, and 9 times out of 10 they will, because this fool will take that step, that they're going to be taken care of, that the Creator got them. The dog, right? This is my interpretation of the dog. I've heard, and don't quote me on this, but I've heard, I think the original lesson of this card is that the dog is trying to warn the fool not to jump off of the cliff. And I will correct that if I'm wrong, but what I get from looking at this dog is ecstatic, knowing that this fool is about to jump off of the cliff. In fact, the dog is halfway off of the cliff his damn self, right? And he's just like, oh, we going, because dogs, their loyalty to their owner, to their master, is just like their caregiver is like, yo, wherever you go, I'm going, And so the dog is ready too. The dog is ready to go with the fool, and the dog is white as well. Purely intentioned, purely loyal, purely willing to serve. Now, on some textbook shit, the fool is linked to Dionysus, the Greek god of sacred revels in honor of the Greek goddess. That makes me go back to the 0, which is a portal, and it's also symbolic of the womb. So the fool is paying his respects for being born, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, they are known to be jesters, or the king's fool, which would be given the ability to tease and ridicule anyone in the court for entertainment purposes without facing any consequences or repercussions. It could be seen as a slap in the face to those who valued stoicism in those days and rationality, which the fool does not possess, and they were thought to be literally possessed. His other associations are the Arthurian knight Parsifal, known for his innocence, and the Green Man from Celtic traditions, known for new life, fertility, and the restoration of nature, which brings me back to how life repeats in cycles. So the Fool card pulled may mean starting over. So these are some things I also picked up, is that the dog is representative of instincts, like animal instincts, or could be humanistic instincts as well. That the dog is warning the fool, that watch your step in front of you, but it's also the instinctual value that comes with not really caring about what is visible, but more about the scent, picking up on the scent of a trail that leads you somewhere, which dogs are very perceptive when it comes to that. Uranus is attached to the sign of Aquarius, which represents individuality, and not only individuality, but a uniqueness of that individuality. And it also represents detachment. So while other people or other interpretations may not be able to objectively process their emotions, the fool can. And this gives them a type of an advantage when they are embarking into the unknown path. Because as you see, the eyes are closed, that means they're going into the dark, right? And the planet Uranus is actually exalted in the sign Scorpio. So this gives them a advantage for going into the unknown. Now, the reversed interpretation of this card, of the Fool card, is basically saying not to take that leap, to reconsider leaping off of that cliff and going off on your own. All right, you may need more of a stronger foundation. You may need to link with other individuals before doing whatever it is you got to do. It's just a tale of caution. Is pretty much what I'm saying. It's like, and this applies specifically to like artists, people who are writers, people who are journalists, or if you're a musician of some sort, an entertainer of some sort, you may want to pump the brakes when it comes to this, because you don't want to bet the bank on your fantasy or your dream in contrast to what is currently your reality. You understand what I'm saying? Now, it doesn't dismiss what you want to do, what your dream and your goal is. It just states, don't quit your day job. You understand what I'm saying? And the same thing applies when like going into the darkness. We speak about how when it's upright, it's like, don't be fearful of the dark. When it's reversed, it's like, you know some things about the dark, and those potential risks are more potential, should I say, if you make that move that you want to make when pulling this card and it's reversed.